Ladies and gentlemen, it is the time to start the first session. In this session, we have 5 speakers. The first speaker is Mr. Daigo Furukawa from the Faculty of Letters. The title is The Study of the Izeki Takako Diary. Is it a diary literature? Please start your presentation.
Thank you for introducing me. My name is Daigo Furukawa. This screen tells you my theme. First, do you know Izeki Takako? She was a samurai's wife in the Edo era and kept a diary for 5 years. Unfortunately, no pictures are left, so please imagine her face as you like. Maybe she was beautiful. Then the diary she kept is Izeki Takako diary. This is the picture. The diary has been studied mainly as historical documents because it is very accurate. But Akio Fukasawa suggested that Izeki Takako diary should be a diary literature. But he judged so by vague criteria. So I want to say, is his judgment right? So the main theme of this study is this. Is Izeki Takako diary a diary literature? The division between literature and non-literature is useful to clarify the subject of history and literature. This is the outline. First, we'll find requirements to be classified as a diary literature. Second, we'll consider whether the diary satisfies those. And conclusion. So first, number 1. Find the first requirement. According to a dictionary, a diary literature expresses the author's feelings, while a diary is simply a record. So, subjective feelings, this is the first requirement. And second, famous diary literatures are written mainly in kana characters, while public documents are written in Chinese writing, like this. So, not in Chinese writing. This is the second requirement of diary literature. And third, the authors of Heian diary literatures wrote the works after they became old. But this principle cannot be applied to the text in the Edo era, because the works in the form of recollection decreased in the Edo era. So this principle needs to be expanded and modified. So please think, to write a diary after they become old means that they can select contents to write from the whole life. So the selection of the contents to write is the third requirement. This is all the requirements. The work needs to satisfy all these requirements. Then let's go to number 2. First, Takako declared in the first 2 sentences of the diary literature, of the diary, she would write an important and personal things along this line in the Izeki Takako diary. For example, she criticized Confucians and she composed Japanese poems. So there are many expressions of her beliefs and feelings. So the first requirement is satisfied, like this. Then second, this is the text of Izeki Takako diary. Although it is difficult for you, this is hiragana. So Japanese writing and second requirement is satisfied, like this. Then finally, third, we should know Takako's life a little. She failed her first marriage and she experienced divorce, and she succeeded her second marriage. This divorce must have been shocking for her. Shocking. But in Izeki Takako diary, there are no descriptions about her first marriage and the divorce, although she wrote about her childhood and her memories much. So she avoided to regulate it. So there are the selection of the contents to write, and the third requirement is satisfied, like this. So let's go to the conclusion. This Izeki Takako diary should be a diary literature because it satisfies all the requirements. All the requirements. I hope active research on the diary literatures will be done, and the division between a diary and diary literature will be promoted, motivated by this study. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you for your presentation. Is there any question or comment? Please.
Thank you very much. It was very easy to understand your presentation and the English was great. But I'm still left wondering about one point, and that's the importance of the clarification between diary and diary literature. So my question is, why does it matter?
Thank you for your question. Sorry. Just a moment. The division between diary literature and non-literature is useful to clarify the subject of history and literature. Historians should study a diary, and literature scholars should study diary literature. So, the division is useful to clarify the subject of history and literature. Okay? Thank you.
That answers my question very well.
Thank you. Do you have any question or comment? Please.
Who is the first person who discriminated Israeli literature, something like that? Who defined that?
Oh, you?
Yourself?
Yes.
Oh, you
I found
You
the
have
requirements.
defined it.
Define
You
diary
did the
literature.
definition.
Definition, yes, I did.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments or questions?
Short question.
Yes,
I didn't know this the name of Izeki Takako.
yes.
Why did you know this way?
I read Izeki Takako's diary when I was a student of high school, so I was interested in. Yes, thank you.
Yes, please.
Here.
Thank you for your presentation. I have one question. How universal the criteria you mentioned?
Oh, that's our criteria.
You made the criteria for the literature. Yes.
Yes.
So, how large do you want to extend the criteria, such as, for example, your criteria is also your criteria mean such as, for example, the Heian era. Your criteria is useful. Yeah, for example, as there is a in Heian era, your criteria meets can the daily literature in Heian era meet your criteria? One.
Referred to the Heian era. I referred to the Heian diary literature.
Yeah. So how universal?
The first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The climate criteria is useful for the Heian era or the other region, such as Chinese and French.
Oh, I wanted to define diary literature so that it can be applied to the Japanese classical literature. Whole Japanese classical literature.
not only in Edo region.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation.